Hey everybody, Jeremy here, and today I'm going to be making these ribs on the Country Smokers Traveler pellet grill. So I am doing this the day before. Meteorologist says that on Saturday we're not expecting any rain, so I decided to prep these ribs the evening before. And I'm going to be making these using the 3-2-1 method on the smoker, which just means 3 hours uncovered, 2 hours covered, and then 1 more hour uncovered. So I got myself here some pork ribs that I have not done anything with so far. And the first thing that I'm going to at least attempt to do is remove the membrane on the back, which is like this really thin layer that usually you find on all these ribs. So I also cut these ribs in half because the Country Smokers Traveler pellet grill is not huge, you know, it's a travel size grill. So I just cut it in half so that we can have more room. And now I'm going to season these ribs and we'll put them on the grill tomorrow. So got a few simple ingredients here that I'm going to use. First thing that I'm going to use is some stone ground mustard, just as a binder. So I'm going to put some mustard on both sides of this and rub it in. So I did these ribs before using this exact same method, and I think they came out really, really good. And when I did it, I was wondering, like, man, I should have made a video about these. But here we are now. We are getting it done. So I'm just going to flip these over on this side and do the exact same thing. A little bit of the mustard. And I've seen people use so many different methods of seasoning ribs that I really don't think there's like a wrong way to do it, you know. It's just preference, whatever it is that you want to do. All right, so now that I got this mustard rubbed in, I'm going to flip it back over. And here are the seasonings I'm going to be using. First, I'm going to be using just some regular old kosher salt. All right, kosher salt, and then I also have some coarse ground black pepper. Pop that open. And just if you're going to smoke anything, you know, just don't do it when you're hungry. You know, wake up in the morning and start this because, like I said, it's going to take hours for this to cook. All right, got some pepper on there. And then also, lastly, I'm going to use some garlic powder. And I'm just doing this one side now, but of course I'm going to flip it over. And we're going to get it on the other side as well. Before we are all done with this and we're just going to let it sit inside of the refrigerator overnight, I'm going to hit it with some Grill Mates barbecue seasoning. So really affordable stuff, nothing fancy. It's got inside of it brown sugar, salt, spices, whatever those mean, including red pepper, tomato, garlic, onion, red bell pepper, extractives of paprika, and other natural flavors, including hickory smoke flavor, or something like that. All right. Now I was going to take the top off completely, but like, nah, let's not mess this up. Let's just do it like this. And we are going to be generous with it. The great thing about these ribs is even after we season them like this, we're going to put them on the grill like this, but then we're going to be adding some more flavors to it when it reaches about the halfway mark. So we're going to flip this over again, get this on this side, barbecue seasoning, get all messy with it, and then wipe down your countertop, especially if you live in the South. These bugs like to come out now. It's the summer. So you don't want no little critters running around on your countertop because you spilled some seasoning and sugar and salt and brown sugar and all that stuff. You don't want that. Okay. So I'm just going to get a little bit of the seasoning that fell off on the cutting board. Kind of dab it in on the sides as well. Make sure that we get all of the sides nice and coated. Yes. Okay. Cool beans. So that's all that I am going to do. I'm going to put this on some aluminum foil, like I have right here. Just set them down here. I'm gonna wrap this up, put it on a sheet pan, stick it in the fridge. It's gonna hang out in there overnight. So it's gonna be in there for at least 8 hours. Although I have seen people, when they do this, you can just let it sit for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, you know, whatever you want. But come morning, we're gonna go outside and we're gonna put it on the smoker. So jump to that now. Good morning. It's a little past 9 o'clock out here this morning. Looks like it rained overnight. Hopefully that's all that it's gonna do. So I got the pellet smoker here, and the pellets that I'm going to be using today are these Bear Mountain 100% natural hardwood barbecue pellets. This is the apple flavored pellets. Got these on a pretty good deal. At one point it was like 2 bags for like $8. It was pretty good, like buy one get one free. But anyway, I'm going to load up this hopper. It's already got some pellets in here, but this is going to be a long cook, so I'm going to fill it up. All right, looking good. So now I'm going to turn this thing on, put it on smoke, and we're going to let it do its thing. Once that's all done, I'm going to be cooking these ribs at 225 degrees for the entire time. And we're going to be coming back about every 45 minutes or so, and I'm gonna spray them down with some apple juice. So yeah, should be fun. Hopefully the weather holds up. All right, so the grill is like at 225-ish. This is what these ribs look like. It's a little bit bright, but you get the idea. They look good, they smell good. They've been inside of the refrigerator all night. Now let's open this up using my bare hands, because I'll wash them anyway. Just gonna put them down on here. Good stuff. Close it down. And why not close both of these up? And at this point, we just come back every 45 minutes or so. We're gonna spritz it with some apple juice. And then after 3 hours, we're gonna take them off. We're gonna add some brown sugar. We're gonna add some butter. We're gonna wrap it up, put it back on for a couple more hours. So now that I got these back inside, what we are going to do is something really simple, but it's going to add a lot of flavor. It's going to be pretty awesome. So I got these ribs, I got them turned so that the bone is facing up so that we can have this little cavity right here. Because to said cavity, I have brown sugar. And I am going to sprinkle some brown sugar on both of these ribs. I have them in 2 separate aluminum foil pieces because they're too big for the foil that I have. And then I'm also going to throw on some butter to each of these. Now I'm going to just kind of bring them up like this, kind of create a wall. Probably works better if you got a pan, because what I'm also going to do is take some apple juice, one for me, one for you, and I'm gonna pour some of this apple juice over in here onto the ribs and around the ribs. Awesome. And now Just going to fold it up. And with these wrapped up like this, now I'm just going to put them back on the grill. The temperature is still going to be at 225 degrees. I'm just going to leave them like this. We're not going to look at them. We're not going to touch them. We're not going to do anything with them for 2 more hours. So these ribs have been sitting in here for the past 2 hours covered up. We're still rocking at 225 degrees for the most part. Now we're going to open them up, uncover them, and put them back on the grate. So first, let me just take a look at how our pellets are doing. I'm gonna have to put some more pellets in there. But before we do that, let's take these ribs off. Take a look. Those are looking good. So these are going to sit on here for another hour. I'm going to put some more pellets in this hopper. And then in 30 minutes, I'm going to come back out, brush these with some barbecue sauce. And then in another 30 minutes, give it another coat of barbecue sauce. So we are all done after 6 hours of cooking. Gave this a little bit of time to rest. And check out our ribs. These things look fantastic. They're nice and dark. Look at that bark. Smoking guys always love to talk about bark, don't they? So just looking at this, these ribs, I mean, they just kind of, oh, there goes the bone. Some people don't like their ribs to fall off the bone. I personally do. I love that. Let's give this a taste. It's just also soft and succulent. And it's just really cool how, despite all the seasonings that we put on it, nothing feels like nothing feels overwhelmed. It all just works together. All the apple juice, the salt, the pepper, the garlic, the barbecue sauce, the barbecue rub. It just all works out so good. I've tried cooking ribs in a few different ways, you know. Tried to cook them in like slow cookers, the oven, the Ninja Foodie, but by far my favorite way to cook ribs and eat ribs now is on the smoker. It's just so much better, but it takes that much longer. It takes a long time to do, but man, trust me, it is worth it. So I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna chow down. If you got a smoker, go ahead and try this. These ribs themselves only cost about $11 or so. And there were even some that were even less expensive than that, but yeah. Fantastic. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that you give this a shot. Trust me, you will not regret it. Thank you again for watching. Until next time, I'm Jeremy. Talk to you later.